Staying on YouTube. Time for the day, beautiful people. Time for the day. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed their day of rest. If you had a chance to rest yesterday, as we are keeping the Sabbath. I know some people, they work on a man's dime. They gotta work when the man say work until you get your own thing going on. But blessed be Yah. That He'll bless you with your own so you can keep His appointed feast days, the Moedim, as He has commanded. Okay. You finished watching Watership Down? You like it? Shayla? Trina, that's horrible. Okay. Okay. You notice at the end with the you notice how the I'm gonna just say this part just in case for those who didn't watch it. What in the world? Well, I tell you, I ain't getting up because if I move this, hold on, let me just do this. Somebody left my freezer open. I don't want to take the chance of plugging my what you call it, and I had to start YouTube over. Thank y'all for the staff. All right. You notice the black rabbit at the end? You notice how it was a black rabbit out the entire movie. You got the black rabbit that show up at the end. I don't know if you caught that or not. You catch it. Okay, y'all. Happy Thursday. It is June the 3rd, 2021, day 170 of year 3 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets and of the 3-year consecutive day count, day 839. Today we're reading 3rd Ezra 5, 6, and 7. Then we're going to pick up where we left off at yesterday and day before yesterday, and Fossilized Customs on page 125. I had to catch myself because I know some days when we ain't here, I'll say yesterday if I'm referring to the previous day's video. So I know I'll go back and watch my video sometime and I realize I done stumbled over a word or said a word or said somebody's name when I meant somebody else. It's like sometimes I caught myself saying Joseph when I meant Jacob. I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. Somebody gonna say something. That's the wrong person. What you talking about? She lying. But clearly, if you had just listened to everything I said in context, you will realize that was a blunder. And I meant Jacob instead of Joseph. And I did it a couple times. Like one time I said Esther instead of Ruth. I know they was like two whole different stories. But I was thinking ahead and said the wrong name while I was telling the current story. So forgive me, y'all. If I catch myself doing that, I will come back and correct myself. But just in case. Josiah, shalom. Kim, hey girl, hey, happy Thursday. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and pull up the Shema. I'm trying to find my place real quick. Let me find my place so I can just grab it. Let me start. 3rd Ezra is also called First Esdras. Esdras is Latin for Ezra. So if you have the Apocrypha that's not like added back to a Bible, you'll probably see it being labeled as Esdras instead of 3rd Ezra. Okay. Okay, so let me pull up the Shema or the Shema. Everybody know where that is found at. It is found in Deuteronomy chapter 6. We start at verse 3. Hear, therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you may increase mightily, as YAHUAH, the God of our fathers, has promised us in the land that flows with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, YAHUAH our God, he is one God. And you shall love Yahuwah your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart. What shall be in your heart? Yahuwah's words. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them upon the posts of your house and on your gates. And Yahuwah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yahuwah our God for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahuwah our God as he has commanded us. Uncle JB, good morning. Okay, y'all. So let me go ahead and I'll bring this up and minimize that for later. All right. So read it for them from the Sefer. So all right, y'all. 3rd Ezra chapter 5. Remember, this is going over what we've learned in Ezra and Nehemiah, but it's given the bigger story, right? Okay. After this were the principal men of the families chosen according to their tribes to go up with their women and sons and daughters, with their men servants and maid servants and their cattle. And Darius sent with them 1,000 horsemen, till they had brought them back to Jerusalem safely, and with musical instruments, tabrets, and flutes. And all their brethren played, and he made them go up together with them. And these are the names of the men which went up according to their families among their tribes, after their several heads: the priests, the sons of Peninnah, the sons of Aaron; Yahusha, the son of Yahutsadak, the son of Sariahu; and Jehoiakim, son of Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, of the house of David, out of the kindred of Peretz, of the tribe of Judah, who spoke wise sentences before Darius the king of Persia, in the 2nd year of his reign, in the month of Nisan, which is the 1st month. And these are they of Judah that came up from the captivity, where they dwelt as strangers, whom Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babel had carried away unto Babel. And they returned to Jerusalem and to the other parts of Judah, every man to his own city, who came with Zerubbabel, with Yeshua, Nehemiah, and Zechariah. Remember, this Yeshua is another person named Joshua, not this character that was created in the New Testament. Nehemiah, and Zechariah, and Reliah, and Nehemiah, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mikpar, Reliah, Rahum, Bana, their guides. The number of them of the nation and their governors, sons of Parosh, 2,172. The sons of Shephatiah, 472. The sons of Arak, 756. The sons of Pekath, Moab, 2,812. The sons of Elam, 1,254. The sons of Zethanu, 945. The sons of Zaki, 705. The sons of Bani, 648. The sons of Bevi, 623. The sons of Shalom, 3,222. The sons of Adoniakim, 667. The sons of Bigvi, 2,066. The sons of Aden, 454. The sons of Ater of Yezekiyahu. Hold on, that's let's see, Ezekiel. Yeah, of Yikitziyahu. Yeah, the sons of Ater of Yikitziyahu, 90 and 2. I believe Yikitziyahu is Ezekiel. No, Hezekiah. I be forgetting that when they be doing in here the Yahoos and all that stuff. I think that's Hezekiah. I'm sorry, not Ezekiel. It's Hezekiah. The sons of Kelan, Azzi, Phereth, 7. The sons of Azar, 432. The sons of Kenayahu, 101. The sons of Aram, 32. The sons of Bethsai, 323. The sons of Azzi, Phereth, 102. The sons of Meturis, 3005. The sons of Bethlehem, 123. They of Netophah, 50 and 5. They of Anathoth, 150 and 8. They of Bet Sead, 40 and 2. They of Kiriath Jearim, 20 and 5. They of Kiri Phia and Beeroth, 740 and 3. They of Pira, 700. They of Kadesh and Amidoi, 420 and 2. They of Ramah and Giva, 620 and 1. They of Michmash, 120 and 2. They of Bet-El, 50 and 2. The sons of Michmash, 150 and 6. The sons of Lo, Hadid, and Ono, 720 and 5. The sons of Jericho, 240 and 5. The sons of Kenayahu, 3,330. The priests, the sons of Yediah, the son of Yeshua, the priests, the sons of Yediah, the son of Yeshua, among the sons of Eliashib, 970 and 2. The sons of Immer, 1,050 and 2. The sons of Phasaron, 1,040 and 7. The sons of Carmel, 1,017. The Levites, the sons of Yeshua and Kadmiel and Banuos and Hadurah, 70 and 4. The holy singers, the sons of Asaph, 120 and 8. The porters, the sons of Shalom, the sons of Ater, the sons of Talmon, the son of Akub, the sons of Katiyata, the sons of Shovite, in all 139. The servants of the temple, the sons of Esau, the sons of Kasufa, the sons of Tabaoth, the sons of Kepha, the sons of Kud, the sons of Padon, the sons of Livna, the sons of Kagava, the sons of Akub, the sons of Uta, the sons of Ketab, the sons of Kagab, the sons of Shalamai, the sons of Anan, the sons of Gidal, the sons of Gahar, the sons of Reiah, the sons of Retzin, the sons of Negoda, the sons of Kesavah, the sons of Gazam, the sons of Uzzah, the sons of Peniac, the sons of Azar, the sons of Bekai, the sons of Aknah, the sons of Meuni, the sons of Nephushiim, the sons of Bakbuk, the sons of Kufa, the sons of Asher, the sons of Parakim, sons of Batsulu, the sons of Mikiyada, the sons of Kuthath, the sons of Karsha, the sons of Karkas, the sons of Sisera, the sons of Timac, the sons of Netziach, the sons of Katiyafa, the sons of the servants of Shaloma, the sons of Azaniah, the sons of Peruda, the sons of Yala, the sons of Darkon, the sons of Gideah, the sons of Shephatiah, the sons of Kittiel, the sons of Pokereth. They need to have one big family name. The sons of Pokereth, Sevahayim, the sons of Shovet, the sons of Sarothi, the sons of Masiyahu, the sons of Gar, the sons of Barzillai, the sons of Suba, the sons of Aphera, the sons of Barodis, the sons of Shephatiah, the sons of Elam. All the ministers of the temple and the sons of the servants of Shaloma was Solomon, is referring to King Solomon, were 370 and 2, which is probably why they named all these sons. All these sons came from King Solomon. All the ministers of the temple and the sons of the servants of Shaloma were 370 and 2. These came up from Telmech and Tel-Karsha, Keruv and Aden leading them, and Immer. Neither could they show their families nor their stock how they were of Israel. The sons of Laden, the sons of Ban, the sons of Nekoda, 650 and 2. And of the priests that usurped the office of the priesthood and were not found. Yeah. And of the priests that usurped the office of the priesthood and were not found, the sons of Obadiah, who the sons of Cots, the sons of Barzillai, who married Augiah, one of the daughters of Barzillai, and was named after his name. And the description of the kindred of these men was sought in the register and was not found, and they were removed from executing the office of the priesthood. For unto them said Nehemiah and Tershatha. Remember, Tershatha is a title of governor. I remember that. Demi, hey girl, hey, Hezekiah, shalom. For unto them said Nehemiah and Tershatha that they should not be partakers of the holy things. That sounds weird the way it says. It says, for unto them said Nehemiah and Tershatha, which better translated Nehemiah the governor, right? Or it says Nehemiah and Tershatha. Nehemiah was the Tershatha or the governor. So for unto them, Nehemiah the Tershatha, that they should not be partakers of the holy things till until there arose up a high priest clothed with doctrine and truth. So of Israel, from them of 12 years old and upward, they were all in number 40,000, besides manservants and maidservants, 2,360. Their manservants and handmaids were 7,347. The singing men and singing women, 245. 435 camels, 7,036 horses, 245 mules, 5,525 beasts used the yoke. And certain of the chief of their families, when they came to the temple of YAHUAH, that is in Jerusalem, vowed to set up the house again in its own place according to their ability, and to give into the holy treasury of the works 1,000 pounds of gold, 5,000 of silver, and 100 priestly vestments. And so dwelt the priests and the Levites and the people in Jerusalem, and in the country, the singers, also and the porters, and all Israel in their villages. But when the 7th month was at hand, and when the children of Israel were where every man in his own place, they came all together with one consent into the open place of the first gate, which is toward the east. Then stood up Yahusha, the son of Yahutzadak, and his brethren, the priests, and Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and his brethren, and made ready the altar of the God of Israel, to offer burnt sacrifices upon it, according as it is expressly commanded in the Sefer of Moshe, the man of YAHUAH. And there were gathered unto them out of the other nations of the land, and they erected the altar upon his own place, because all the nations of the land were at enmity with them and oppressed them, and they offered sacrifices according to the time, and burnt offerings to YAHUAH both morning and evening. Also, they held the feast of Sukkot, or the feast of tents or booths or tabernacles or shelters. All those names, it's the same feast. Also, they held the feast of Sukkot, as it is commanded in Torah, and offered sacrifices daily, as was meet. And after that, the continual oblations and the sacrifice of the Sabbaths and of the new moons, and of all the holy feasts. So remember, anytime you hear Sukkot or Feast of Tents, Booths, that's always in the 7th month, right? The 7th month, as YAHUAH has calculated. And there are some people, and I get how they're doing it. There are people that haven't even celebrated the Passover yet, because it's crazy. I don't know how. Like, I see based on how some of them are explaining, and then some are people that's woken up too, but they are looking at this according to what the Jewish people have put out, and they got time all. It's like they're trying to. You can see that they're trying to do us right, but it's like way off about a lot of months, right? Where some of them haven't even counted it being a new year yet, right? They actually count the new year in what is it? In September, like the September, October timeframe, more like September, when they have the Jewish New Year. That is wrong, people. That is so wrong. The seasons tell you that that is wrong. And it's like I don't even comment on the videos. I'm just sitting there completely flabbergasted. And they may not know, but as I read through some of the comments and some of the response to some of the people that may have brought it up, I get it. Some people are, it's like you can't even offer them any kind of wisdom or, hey, have you considered this? Like, you can't even offer any kind of anything. They ain't looking at it, because it's like what they have put out is absolutely right. Nobody else is right. This is what's it, right? And I'm like, this is so wrong, right? And which is probably why they don't realize that they're wrong, because they think that they're 100% right. And I'm like, how could you even think that you're 100% right if you're following the teachings of the Jewish people? They chopped and screwed a lot of stuff, and they've added stuff to their own liking, right? I was like, this is so wrong. This goes against scripture. Even like where Yahuwah said, this shall be the first month out of the year for you. This is the month of Passover. And that always lines up with springtime, y'all. How is you celebrating New Year in the fall? Who is born at 10 years old? Aren't you born at the beginning of life cycles? Right? Infants are the beginning. Anybody who sees an infant, it doesn't matter if it's an infant animal or an infant human, you can tell what cycle of life they are in. Nobody is born already mature. Right? The same thing goes with the seasons. You can see the truth in the seasons. And that's it's baffling to me. It really is, because this person teaches some truth on their channel. But I'm like, this, how do you understand this truth, but you skip over the basic elementary truths? Like, how is that missed? How is that missed, right? But apparently it can be. It's like I scratch my head. I'm thinking about that now. Scratch my head. All right, so that's all I wanted to say about that. Also, they held the Feast of Sukkot, which is in the fall, the 7th month of the year, right? 7th month of the year. Although it's considered the 9th month on a Gregorian calendar now, right? But it used to be the 7th month, because remember when the Gregorian or Julian calendar transitioned into the Gregorian calendar, it was only a 10-month calendar. So they realized the seasons kept coming in later and later every year. Then they adjusted it, added 2 more months, added January and February. But March used to be the first month of the year. Springtime, people. Like that's not. You would think everybody knows that now. Maybe those who research, oh, well, yeah, okay. So they realized they was wrong. And when they added the 2 months, although they didn't say we're getting on Yahuwah's calendar, they just realized, common sense tells us, okay, something's wrong with this calendar. It's off by 2 months, right? So they added the 2 months, and boom, the seasons come in perfectly every year. But it's still labeled and numbered wrong, right? So which still kind of keep people off. But anyway, that's a whole nother teaching in itself. Although they held the feast of Sukkot as it is commanded in the Torah, and offered sacrifices daily, as was meet. And after that, the continual oblations and the sacrifice of the Sabbaths and of the new moons and of all the holy feasts. And all they that had made any vow to Yahuwah began to offer sacrifices to Yahuwah from the first day of the 7th month, although the temple of Yahuwah was not yet built. And they gave unto the masons and carpenters money, meat and drink with cheerfulness. Unto them, Sidon and Sor, they also gave carts, that they should bring cedar trees from Lebanon, which should be bought by floats to the haven of YAHUAH, according as it was commanded them by Koresh or Cyrus, king of the Persians. And in the 2nd year and 2nd month after his coming to the temple of Yahuwah at Jerusalem, began Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, and Yahusha, the son of Jehozadak, which is also called Joshua, and their brethren, and the priests, and the Levites, and all they that were come unto Jerusalem out of the captivity, and they laid the foundation of the house of Yahuwah in the first day of the second month, in the second year after they were come to Judah and Jerusalem. And they appointed the Levites from 20 years old and over to the work over the works of Yahuwah. Then stood up Yahusha and his sons and brethren, and Cadmiel his brother, and the sons of Mediban, the sons of Yehuda, the sons of Eliadan, with their sons and brethren, all the Levites with one accord, setters forward of the business, laboring to advance the works in the house of Yahuwah. So the workmen built the temple of Yahuwah, and the priests stood arrayed in their vestments with musical instruments and trumpets, and the Levites, the sons of Asaph, had cymbals, singing songs of thanksgiving and praising Yahuwah, according as David, the king of Israel, had ordained. And they sung with loud voices songs to the praise of Yahuwah, because his mercy and glory is forever in all of Israel. And all the people sounded the shofars and shouted with a loud voice, singing songs of thanksgiving unto Yahuwah for the rearing up of the house of Yahuwah. Notice how they only praise and worship Yahuwah. They ain't singing praise to nobody else's name. They ain't singing praise to Moses. They ain't singing praises to none of the priests nor the prophets. But they all in one accord are praising Yahuwah and Yahuwah alone. Tell me, why has that changed? Also the priests and the Levites and of the chief of their families and ancients who had seen the former house came to the building of this with weeping and great crying, but many with shofars and joy shouted with loud voice, so much so that the shofar might not be heard for the weeping of the people, yet the multitude sounded marvelously, so that it was heard afar off. Wherefore, when the enemies of the tribe of Judah and Benjamin heard it, they came to know what that noise of shouting. Wherefore, when the enemies of the tribe of Judah and Benjamin heard it, they came to know what that noise of shofar should mean. And they perceived that they were of the captivity, did build a temple unto Yahuwah, Elohim of Israel. So they went to Zerubbabel and Yeshua and to the chief of the families and said unto them, we will build together with you. Oh, so now y'all want to stand in solidarity with us, right? After y'all doing all this rigmarole trying to keep us from building the temple, now y'all want to stand with us? Y'all have heard that the temple was rebuilt, so now y'all shaking in your pants a little bit because you think, oh my gosh, their God is about to come back and fight for them again, like we've heard all these stories of old, right? Let us help you. What you need from us? Get out of here. We need nothing from you. They be pissing me off. Look, and let me go back up. Verse 66. Wherefore, when the enemies of the tribe of Judah and Benjamin heard it, they came to know what that noise of shofar should mean. And they perceived that they were of the captivity, did build a temple unto Yahuwah, Elohim of Israel. So they went to Zerubbabel and Yeshua and to the chief of the families and said unto them, we will build together with you. For we likewise, as ye do obey your Adonai and do sacrifice unto him from the days of Azbazareth, the king of Asher, who brought us hither. Then Zerubbabel and Yeshua and the chief of the family said unto them, it is not for us and you to build together a house unto Yahuwah Eloheinu. We ourselves alone will build unto Yahuwah of Israel, according as Cyrus, the king of the Persians, has commanded us. But the heathen of the land, laying heavy upon the inhabitants of Judah and holding them straight, hindered their building, and by their secret plots and popular persuasions and commotions, they hindered the finishing of the building all the time that King Cyrus lived. So they were hindered from building for the space of 2 years until the reign of Darius. 3rd Ezra chapter 6. That was a long chapter. That was 73 verses, y'all. Mom, shalom. Okay. Now in the 2nd year of the reign of Darius, Haggai and Zechariah, son of Iddo, the prophets, prophesied unto the Hebrews in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of YAHUAH, the God of Israel, which was upon them. Then stood up Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, and Yahusha, son of Jehozadak, and began to build the house of YAHUAH at Jerusalem, the prophets of YAHUAH being with them and helping them. At the same time came unto them Tattenai, the governor of Aram and Phoenicia, with Shethar-Bozenai and his companions, and said unto them, By whose appointment do ye build this house and this roof, and perform all other things? And who are the workmen that perform these things? Nevertheless, the elders of the Hebrews obtained favor because YAHUAH had visited the captivity, and they were not hindered from building until such time as signification was given unto Darius concerning them, and an answer received. The copy of the Sepharim, which Tattenai, governor of Aram and Phoenicia, and Shethar-Bozenai, with their companions, rulers in Aram and Phoenicia, wrote and sent unto Darius, to King Darius, greetings. Let all things be known unto our Lord the King, that being come into the country of Judah, and entered in the city of Jerusalem, we found in the city of Jerusalem the ancients of the Hebrews that were of the captivity, building a house unto YAHUAH, great and new, of hewn and costly stones, and the temple already laid upon the walls. And those works are done with great speed, and the work goes on prosperously in their hands, and with all glory and diligence it is made. Then asked we these elders, saying, By whose commandment build ye this house, and lay the foundations of these works? Therefore, to the intent that we might give knowledge unto you by writing, we demanded of them who were of the chief doers, and we required of them the names in writing of their principal men. So they gave us this answer: We are the servants of YAHUAH, which made heaven and earth. As for this house, it is built many years ago by a king of Israel, great and strong, and was finished. But when our fathers provoked YAHUAH unto wrath, and sinned against YAHUAH, the God of Israel, which is in heaven, he gave them over into the power of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babel, of the Chaldeans, who pulled down the house and burned it, and carried away the people captive unto Babel. But in the first year that King Cyrus reigned over the country of Babel, Cyrus the king wrote to build up this house. And the holy vessels of gold and of silver that Nebuchadnezzar had carried away out of the house of Jerusalem, and had sent them in his own temple, those Cyrus the king brought forth out again out of the temple at Babel. And they were delivered to Zerubbabel and to Sheshbatzar, the ruler, with the commandment that he should carry away the same vessels and put them in the temple at Jerusalem, and that the temple of YAHUAH should be built in this place. Then the same Sheshbatzar, being come hither, laid the foundations of the house of YAHUAH at Jerusalem. And from that time to this, being still a building, it is not yet fully ended. Now therefore, if it seem good unto the king, let search be made among the records of King Cyrus, and if it be found that the building of the house of YAHUAH at Jerusalem has been done with consent of King Cyrus, and if our Lord the king be so minded, let him signify unto us thereof. Then commanded King Darius to seek among the records at Babel, and so at Ecbatane the palace, which is in the country of Madi, there was found a roll wherein these things were recorded. In the first year of the reign of Cyrus, King Cyrus commanded that the house of YAHUAH at Jerusalem should be built again, where they do sacrifice with continual fire, whose height shall be 60 cubits, and the breadth 60 cubits, with 3 rows of hewn stones, and 1 row of new wood, that country and the expenses thereof be given out of the house of King Cyrus. And that the holy vessels of the house of YAHUAH, both of gold and silver, that Nebuchadnezzar took out of the house at Jerusalem and brought to Babel, should be restored unto the house of Jerusalem and be set in the place where they were before. And also he commanded that Tattenai, the governor of Aram and Phoenicia, and Shethar-Bozenai and their companions, and those which were appointed rulers in Aram and Phoenicia, should be careful not to meddle with the place, but suffer Zerubbabel, the servant of Yahuwah, the governor of Judah, and the elders of the Hebrews, to build the house of Yahuwah in that place. I have commanded also to have it built up whole again, and that they look diligently to help those that be of the captivity of the Hebrews till the house of Yahuwah be finished. And out of the tribute of Silo, Aram, and Phoenicia, a portion carefully to be given to these men for the sacrifices of Yahuwah, that is, to Zerubbabel, the governor, for bullocks and rams and lambs, and also grain, salt, wine, and oil, that continually every year, without further questioning, according as the priests that be in Jerusalem shall signify to be daily spent, that offerings may be made to El Elyon for the king and for his children, and that they may pray for their lives. He said, and on top of all this, after you give them everything that they're going to need, pull it out of my treasury. Yes, I found these things to be true. King Cyrus did authorize this, and I'm going to stand with King Cyrus on this. Leave them people alone. Matter of fact, help them build it speedily. And on top of all this, pray to your God that he may bless me and my sons. Right? Yo. Hold on. And also grain, salt, wine, and oil, that continually every year without further question, according as the priests that be in Jerusalem shall signify to be daily spent, that offerings may be made to El Elyon, which is YAHUAH, for the king, and that offerings may be made to El Elyon for the king and for his children, and that they may pray for their lives. And he commanded that whosoever should transgress, yea, or make light of anything aforespoken or written, out of his own house should a tree be taken, and he thereon be hanged, and all his goods seized for the king. Yahuwah, therefore, whose name is there called upon, utterly destroy every king and nation that stretches out his hand to hinder or in damage that house of Yahuwah in Jerusalem. I, Darius, the king, have ordained that according unto these things it be done with diligence. And every time Yahuwah brings his people back from captivity, just like he said the last captivity would be, how did he say? We had this conversation. There's a couple videos about, like, some people say we're going to be taken out of here by motherships and all this other stuff. That is not what Yahuwah said. The nations will help bring you back to your land. And they're going to, just like what we see every time they go back. This is a perfect example with Nehemiah, those who are of the captivity during this time, that the nations, the current kingdoms who held them captive, helped them get back, helped them build, gave them everything that they needed here on the earth. Ain't nobody leave up out of here and go to the sweet old heaven, to the sweet by and by the brink. No, everything that we need is here in this realm where we live, right? Same thing. It always happens the same way. When they came out of Egypt, they took the riches of Egypt with them when they left out, right? Even some of the Egyptians, they forsook the gods of Egypt, even their main god, Lamb, right? The Lamb God, the Lamb of God. We call him Lamb. That's what the whole the slaughtering of the lamb of Passover night was about, people, because Yahuwah wanted to let y'all know that this is the thing that I created. This lamb is a creature. You don't worship anything on the earth or in heaven above. Don't make anything in the image of anything in heaven and on the earth. You done made images of lamb gods. You're worshiping a man on the earth, calling him God. Like, all this stuff we're breaking, like the very first commandments right out the gate when you worshiping humans who become gods. Whether you calling him Lamb, the Lamb of God, the Son. What, y'all get what I'm saying, right? We really got to get into all the details of that, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? So just remember all those things. But it happens the same way. It's the nations who help get Yahuwah's people back to where they belong, to their own land, to their lands of inheritance, right? Christy, hey, girl, hey, Alicia, yeah, Nikki, that's trouble, right? So it's the same thing. I'll read this again. And King Darius said that anybody that doesn't help these people get back and do what they need to do, because we all know, we can all attest to that the God whom they serve and worship, when he fights with them again, everybody better stand erect and stand back and stand by, right? Because he ain't playing. And everybody better be found to be on his side, or you might find yourself by the wayside somewhere trying to pick up the pieces of your life, right? Until you cry out to him and realize that he alone is God, right? And nobody else. And he doesn't need to change his incorruptible self into something corruptible, not even to prove one point or to save anybody. He has been saving everybody who wants to be saved from his point of incorruptibility ever since he decided to make things that were corruptible, and we are corruptible. He don't need to make himself in our image. We were created in his, right? People don't get that, and they fight you for it. Take scriptures all out of context because you done been taught wrong. Forgive me, I'm gonna leave people alone. Let me read this last sentence. Yahuwah, therefore, whose name is there called upon, utterly destroy every king and nation that stretches out his hand to hinder or in damage that house of Yahuwah in Jerusalem. I, Darius, the king, a heathen Persian king. He's standing. Why y'all not worshiping this God? Huh? I, Darius, the king, have ordered that according unto these things it be done with diligence. All right, last chapter for the day, y'all. 3rd Ezra chapter 7. Then Tatanai, the governor of Selo, Aram, and Phoenicia, and Shethar Bazanai, with their companions, following the commandments of King Darius, did very carefully oversee the holy works, assisting the ancients of the Hebrews and governors of the temple. And so the holy works prospered when Haggai and Zechariah the prophets prophesied. And they finished these things by the commandment of YAHUAH Elohim of Israel, with the consent of Cyrus, Darius, Artaxerxes, the kings of Persia. And thus was the holy house finished in the 23rd day of the month Adar, in the 6th year of Darius, king of the Persians. And the children of Israel, the priests, and the Levites, and others that were of the captivity, that were added unto them, did according to the things written in the Sefer of Moshe, which is also called Moses, or Musha, or Musa. They got a lot of different names, but it's still Moses. And to the dedication of the temple of Yahuwah, they offered 100 bullocks, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and 12 goats for the sins of all Israel, according to the number of the chief of the tribes of Israel. The priests also and the Levites stood arrayed in their vestments, according to their kindreds, in the service of Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, according to the Sefer of Moshe, and the porters at every gate. And the children of Israel that were of the captivity held the Pesach, or the Passover, the 14th day of the first month. After that, the priests and the Levites were sanctified. They that were of the captivity were not all sanctified together, but the Levites were all sanctified together. So they offered the Pesach for all them of the captivity, and for their brethren the priests, and for themselves. And the children of Israel that came out of the captivity did eat, even all they that had separated themselves from the abominations of the people of the land, and sought Yahuwah. And they kept the feast, of Matzah 7 days, making merry before Yahuwah. For he had turned the counsel of the king of Asher toward them, to strengthen their hands in the works of Yahuwah, Elohim of Israel. Elohim is like another generic term for God. So Asher, for that he had turned the counsel of the king of Asher toward them, to strengthen their hands in the works of Yahuwah, the God of Israel. Okay, y'all, we're going to pause right here for today. I hope you enjoyed that. That was 3rd Ezra, which is found in the Apocrypha. Some Apocryphas, like I said, have been added back to the Bible, right? The Bible is just like a canonization of a bunch of different letters. It was never a book that was put together like in this form, right? The early church fathers, circus fathers did that, but they did it as we're learning. They did it in order to kind of really subdue our people, right? Because our people are gun-ho when YAHUAH is fighting for us, just like Elijah when he's taunting the prophets and the priests of Baal and Jezebel. Like we said, like what? Like somebody, like you about to get in a fight with somebody, and then you see your help coming. Then you get an extra set of balls, and then you start talking mad junk because who gonna touch you? Ain't nobody gonna touch me. Because even though you think I might not be able to do anything, you see my help behind me. So y'all gonna back away, right? And it just hype you up even more because you see your help coming. And even if you decide to reach out and lay hands on somebody, everybody behind you gonna rush them. So the ones also you picking with, not necessarily picking with, standing up against, they realize that too, and they'll back away. Most of them with good common sense will back away. But if they think they might be able to take you after they done calculated, how many we got? We got John. Okay, how many they got? Oh no, they big brother. Ain't they cousin? No, y'all, we gonna have to take a loss. So y'all play too much. We ain't messing. We ain't even want to fight you today, man. All right. Come on, y'all, let's go. You know what I'm saying? It be like that sometimes. So what was happening was when they canonized the scriptures, they were doing it in a way to kind of diffuse the tempers and the strength of the people, right? And they wrote it in such a way and added so much leaven into it and created this new God that this sweet love. Not saying that YAHUAH ain't sweet and he don't love everybody, but this God that they created in the New Testament, and how they've taken YAHUAH's words and twisted it. They made it in a way where it diffuses not only the common sense of the people who worship Yah, but it kind of it tapers down their passion in a way that they ain't ready to fight everybody, right? And when I say that, it's it's like this, right here. You get slapped on one cheek, turn and let them slap your other cheek, right? If they made you walk 1 mile, go on and walk 2 with them. It's like, what? You want me to constantly wear myself? What they're doing, they're wearing you out. They're wearing you down. Like scripture talking about Satan wearing out the saints. That's what it does, right? And it pacifies you. And you have this God, right? I really like Elijah. I like how sometimes he taunted the priests and prophets of Baal, and he used different words. So I like doing that. And I don't think YAHUAH has an issue with that, right? So they created and gave you this pansy God, right? To where, I just everybody. And when you look at the operation of this pansy God that Christians and the Catholicism worship, right? You got this pansy God that sweet loving on everybody and don't correct nobody. Oh, you get it together when you get it together. But come on in my house, you can stay here and do what you want to do. You want to sleep with a man and you a man? Go ahead. You can sleep with a man and you a man. You want to sleep with a woman and you go ahead. That's okay. Just repent before you go to the grave. It'll be okay. I'll forgive you. Like all of this crap. And y'all see why it's constant garbage in the church and don't nobody want to go there. It's because y'all worshiping this pansy God that let y'all do whatever the heck y'all want to do in his house. YAHUAH ain't standing for that. You ain't doing this crap in my house. You gonna do this over here with these other nations that do whatever they wilt, right? He said, but that ain't gonna happen here. And we know that, right? People only pull that with people that they know that they can get over on. And you can get over on people in the church with that kind of foolish, disgusting crap. And for those of us that call it out, like, wait a minute, that is not what y'all say. Right? Oh, well, you being judgmental, you judge who only God can judge me. I'm like, nigga, you better judge yourself, right? Or you gonna find yourself in a place you really don't want to be, and you're gonna realize YAHUAH wasn't allowing you to do that, right? I ain't gonna start on my soapbox today, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? So all the way that this was canonized, and the leaven that was added in the New Testament, and all the leaven that was added in the Old Testament to try and connect it to the New Testament keeps your pansy down, right? And you're worshiping and searching for this pansy God, and everybody in her church having a sweet old time, and ain't nobody getting help nowhere. Casting out demons and picking up demons right before you get out the church doors good, right? You come in worse, and then you leave out worse. I know that's probably bad English, but you get what I'm saying. You come in at your worst, right? And you leave out worse than when you came in. And you came into a place where you thought you were going to be free. No, this is the devil's laboratory in the church. Okay, y'all, we stopped on page 125. The seal, oh wait, did I put 125? Oh, yeah, that's right, because I remember Area 51. Okay. So, page 125, the Seal of Masonry. Where we at? 50 minutes. Okay. The Fraternal Club of Masonry is for men only, but they started a women's chapter for the wives called the Eastern Star. Masonry is a very old craft, really. It didn't involve all the convoluted secrets it has today, but only had one objective: building. Yes, the men who designed and built all the ancient and modern temples and government buildings were stone masons. They took on apprentices or students who eventually became journeymen and finally master craftsmen. They had to learn how to lay foundations, measure, and cut stone. The graduates of school wear a flat, square top hat, which is really a mortar board attached to the round hat of Hermes, an idol of the Greeks, which scholars wore as a badge of learning. This beanie hat, was imposed on the Hellenized Jews, the Hellenized Yehudim, and now Jews wear them when they attend the synagogue. You know, the little kippah, the little tiny hat they wear, like on the back part of their head. Like, they don't even wear a whole hat. They just like right here, back here. That's what they talking about. I'll read it again. And all y'all that's trying to be like them and got to take them things off and set them on fire. Ooh, I get mad every time I see them. The graduates of school wear a flat square top hat, which is really a mortar board attached to the round hat of Hermes, an idol of the Greeks, which scholars wore as a badge of learning. This beanie hat was imposed on the Hellenized Yehudim, and now Jews wear them when they attend synagogue. The seal of modern masonry has a compass open above a square, which two tools use in the geometry of their craft with a capital letter G in the center. So everybody know what the Mason symbol is. It's like that thing with the G. Anybody clearly knows, right? Okay. So that's what they use. Okay. The seal of modern masonry has a compass open above a square, which are two tools used in the geometry of their craft with a capital letter G in the center. The letter is interpreted to stand for God, G-O-D, and Christians who join see it this way. Some see it as standing for great architect. It really stands for the Greek word Gnostic, which is, you remember the G is silent, Gnostic. It really stands for the Greek word Gnostic, which means knowledge, the knowledge of the craft. It also stands for guild, G-U-I-L-D. During the Middle Ages, stone masonry formed into organized groups of men called guilds, which are precursors of unions. The building trades were monopolized by the guilds. Their most cherished item was their apron, which they wore when laying stones. Without this apron, they could not work, and it became their badge of approval or righteousness, their badge of righteousness. The emblem of each guild was displayed on the apron. The great architect. Originally, masonry was a trade, but after Adam Weishaupt, people with no building skills were accepted into the organizations and advanced in grade as they acquired knowledge carefully fed to them over time. Hideous blood oaths, some involving murder, are sworn to maintain control and secrecy. In the original guilds, mathematical formulas were held as secrets, but Masonry today doesn't involve architectural studies anymore. To be a Mason, a man has to believe in a deity who is referred to as the great architect, whom they must invoke for blessings and protection. Salvation is taught by Masonry to have many roads, and all religions are believed to lead to the great architect. At the beginning, they seek the light. At the highest levels, they are finally told the name of that light is Lucifer, right? So while they down here and they get you, get into this brotherhood, you think you worshiping God, but you're really worshiping God, G-O-D, like nickname for Lucifer, right? And look, oh, I was thinking about this yesterday. Just like these, oh, man, it's so, look, just like you got them, how this has evolved over time, but the lower levels called the great architect Yahuwah, not necessarily who they say God, but they're thinking it's the God in heaven, right? They're not realizing at the higher levels, what the higher level people know that the God they truly worship is Lucifer, right? It's the same thing with the Jewish faith, right? But it's also the same way in the church people. You got all the masses of people, just the lay people, the unsuspecting ones who think they worshiping JC or think they're worshiping God, and that's what they tell you. They fight you to the bloody death. That's who they worship. But as you get higher up, and let you get a little bit higher than what most people are knowing. I mean, like above the pastor and all this stuff, all the way up. And just think about how you seen, this is crazy. When I started seeing this, I'm like, something is wrong here. When I started seeing different pastors, and you got pastors, they start at a little lower levels, then they begin to gain a little bit of notoriety and stuff, and then they become like internet famous, as well as we can see you physical realm face famous, go to your church. I've been there. But then what happens is with their robes, and they begin to preach, they start putting on like these Catholic type robes, right? And now they're meeting with the Pope and they're being ordained as bishops and other things, and right, and they're taking pictures with the Pope, and I'm like, something is wrong here. Like you see these pictures with some of the big ones like TD Jakes and Shucks and y'all rest his soul. But I even seen Fred Price. Yeah, Fred Price. And it's a lot of them. Even some of the Caucasian ministers and preachers and pastors, like all of them, when you start seeing this stuff and you start seeing them put on these type of robes and hanging out with certain type of people, you best believe something else has happened, right? They've ascended to another level that the good old sweet church people don't really know about. Y'all just that raw, ignorant energy at the bottom that they need to push them higher. It's the same thing. Same thing was happening in the Freemason Masonic religion, the Eastern Star, all that. It's the same principle all the way around, right? When you see it, you can't unsee it. Look, to be a Mason, a man has to believe in a deity who is referred to as the great architect, whom they must invoke for blessings and protection. Salvation is taught by Masonry to have many roads, and all religions are believed to lead to the great architect. At the beginning, they seek the light. At the highest levels, they are finally told the name of that light is Lucifer. They meet in what are called Masonic temples and call their leaders worshipful masters. Knowledge is power. What you say, babe? Yeah, Baphomet. Knowledge is power, and the skills of a master stonemason enabled him to rise above a common person. He knew the formulas and ratios necessary to construct great buildings. Naturally, you wouldn't want everybody to control such secret information. If your trade could be more secure by withholding it. Today, with engineering schools teaching the detailed formulas for architecture, chemistry, and electronics, the old guilds have no secrets anymore. But the gullible members of today's Masonry are led to believe they will achieve some secret knowledge if they remain members. Pentagrams. Masonry uses the 5-pointed star as one of its secret symbols. and it is used by the women's organization, which is called the Eastern Star. Christians see it as an evil sign, especially when it is displayed point down, because they understand Satanists use it to worship Baal, which is what you heard my husband say. This is the sign of Baphomet, right? It is said to outline the features of a goat head, which represents a pagan deity called Baphomet. Many of these ancient names are 2 or 3 deities' names joined together. Masons call on Jabulon, which is supposed to represent Jehovah, Baal, and On. The On part is an Egyptian deity. In reality, the pentagram is an ancient building tool, a geometric figure which contains what is called the golden section or golden mean. This is a repeating mean ratio. Mean, MEAN, a mean ratio. It was used like a ruler in the ancient world in building design. It is 61.25% of any given length. It is the division of a length such that the smaller part is to the greater as the greater is to the whole. Pentagrams, lines intersect one another at these key places. It is much used as a key or proportion in design. The main measurements in many arches, bridges, and buildings have used this golden mean since early times. Artists, architects, sculptors, and engineers frequently use the golden mean in industrial design. This proportion is found in all living things. The rate of curve in the nautilus, the placement of the eyes and the head, the location of the heart in man relative to his height, the knees, the elbows, and the arm span. Beauty is determined by how close to the golden mean one's features approach. It was discovered by the Greek mathematician Eleusis II in the mid-5th century BCE and later used by the Pythagoreans as a sign of salvation and secrecy. The Italian mathematician Luca Pacioli called it Divina Proportione, divine proportion, and Johannes Kepler, D. 1630, called it Sectio Divina, or divine section. So it's pretty much saying how close or how far apart, like your eyes are in your head, will determine how beautiful or how ugly you're gonna be. But that's kind of almost right though, because if people's eyes are just off just a little bit, they section kind of crazy. It's like, what freak show are we dealing with here, right? So, but like seriously, that's real stuff. It is. Since we know that the proportions found in the pentagram are used by the true creator, YAHUAH, there is no need to fear the symbol. If pagans adopted it, then they only show their ignorance by not knowing its true origin. Pagans also adopted the serpent on the pole as a sign of healing, which we see in the medical field, right? I believe it's called the Caduceus. I think I said that right. My medical people correct me. Pagans also adopted the serpent on the pole as a sign for healing. Originally, the bronze serpent Nehushtan in 2 Kings 18:4, Numbers 21:8, and John 3:14 was a sign to be looked upon, and those bitten by a snake were healed. But the serpent on the staff became a Greek sign of a healing deity, Asclepius, a symbol embraced by the medical sciences called a caduceus. Yes, I said that right. Okay. Yes. Also called the golden ratio of pi. Yes, PHI. That's right. Thank you, Uncle JB. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. But the serpent on the staff became a Greek sign of a healing deity, Asclepius, a symbol embraced by the medical sciences, also called a Caduceus. The seal of those who worship the true Creator is the name YAHUAH. Paul exhorts us, examine yourselves to see whether you are in the faith. Test yourselves. Excuse me. 2 Corinthians 13:5. If you have the spirit of Yahuwah, they say Yahusha, let's face that. We don't want to get people all screwed up and you start thinking about a second deity, somebody, a man who is being worshipped, when Yahuwah say don't make anybody the image of anything in heaven or earth and don't worship it, right? That's YAHUAH alone. If you have the spirit of Yah, you pass the test. When you are able to closely examine the trappings and observances you are programmed to follow in Christendom, you will discover unsettling truths, right? This book is written for those who have wished to learn the truth and want to progress to the next level. The practices like Christmas, Easter, Sunday, steeples, holy water, and wearing of black by clergy, wreaths, trees, etc., are all customs fossilized from paganism. The meanings behind them have been put out of focus to keep the masses from discovering how they are camouflaged counterfeits. Look closely at them. Their true origins become clear. Look closely and test everything. Just because the origins are out of focus doesn't mean you can't look closely enough to see them clearly. Christendom has blurred quite a few things. Remember that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces of evil. Yahushua was not hateful or mean-spirited when he spoke with Pilate. Even when he knew this man would pronounce his death sentence, surely we can be patient with those who disagree with us. The Church of Rome and her daughters are the beast upon which rides Mystery Babylon. This Roman beast is the fourth and last beast prophesied at Daniel 7 and will be successful until the time of wrath is completed. Daniel 11:36. This calls for wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. Revelation 17:9. Rome was founded on 7 hills. It is often referred to as the 7 hills of Rome. Mystery Babylon, the great mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. This title is written on her forehead. So says Revelation 17:5. What is her name, or how can we identify her? Her name is the same as in ancient Babylon: Ishtar, Asherah, Easter, right? And everybody in America, some of these other places, is riding this great horse. Rome. Oh, wait, maybe I should stop. Let me read this last little paragraph, then we're going to stop because we're already an hour and 7 minutes. Okay, so it has a picture here. Who are these folks following? Are statues, tortures, and the killing of helpless victims the work of some evil entity? And then they have up here, I'm going to show this to y'all. Tortured by Jesuits and Dominicans, burning heretics, statue of Jupiter renamed Peter. Millions have kissed Jupiter's footsie, misled by popes. Okay, so it's like a combination of a few different pictures here. Hopefully you can see it clearly because it's even kind of, let me get a little closer so you can see it. All right. Okay, so you may not even be able to read some of these words that I read up in here. But if you got the book, you will be able to see it clear. Okay, but I know this picture is it's a little dark because it's like black and white, but it's, okay. But anyway, Rome is the 4th avatar of the beast. Consider the wars, Inquisition, Crusades, and the Roman Catholic Hitler concordance, pogroms, and the bloody convert or die policy from Constantine onward. Rome is masquerading as messengers of righteousness, but do not obey Father Yahuwah. There is ample evil fruit to recognize this. She is doing the work of her father, Ha-Satan, or Satan. That's how you say it in Hebrew, Ha-Satan, or Ha-Shaitan, or Shaitan. Some people say Shaitani. That's more of a Bantu word, Shaitani. Okay. She is doing the work of her father, Ha-Satan. Yahuwah would not change his Sabbath to pagan Sunday, nor use the earth mother's name for a celebration. Yeah, see, this is dumb. Hold on. Look. Okay, look. It says, nor use the earth's mother's name for a celebration of his son's resurrection. That whole thing, all that resurrection is a farce. And like I said, I noticed like, she just denied the Savior. Because all the rigmarole and crap that they done put in the New Testament. If anybody speak against this, or if you don't confess that JC is Lord and that you got to confess this whole, and they have you constantly repeating this farce, right? To pull you into a bunch of garbage. They have you repeating. If you don't believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, who was born of the Virgin Mary, who died and rose again on the third day, anybody that denies that, they are of the devil. Anybody that believes that. I ain't gonna say you of the devil. I'm just gonna say you a little bit ignorant, right? I'm gonna say you're probably a lot ignorant to what Yahuwah has said, because that main thing that they say that they take and confess, we talked about it the last day we was here. Yahuwah say, even if somebody like this who is betrothed to another like this whole thing, how he came on the scene, Yahuwah specifically called that out way before it even happened, before it was a thing. But if we don't read the words of Yah, we are taken by that. And everybody, they bring you in, oh, yes, I confess that JC is the Son of God. He born of the Virgin Mary. He came into this world. He died for our sins. A human sacrifice dying for the sins of the wicked. When Yahuwah say no righteous person can ever die for the sins of the wicked, it's an abomination. It's an abomination. It's an abominable thing. He said never. He said even if Noah stood, and you read this throughout the prophets, right? If Noah stood, right? If righteous Noah stood, whatever, he would only be able to save himself. Like, and it named a couple different righteous men. If they stood in the gap for their children, when judgment came, if their children hadn't got it right, the only one would be saved was the one who was righteous, right? But the wicked shall die for their own sins. It's an abominable thing. Never will the righteous die for the sins of the wicked. Then they not teach you that JC was righteous? And what did he do? He came to die for the sins of the wicked. Go right again. Everybody. Do y'all read this book y'all got? Have y'all even cracked open the book that they have misnamed as the Old Testament? Have y'all even heard one word that our Father has said? Can you not see that all of the New Testament, it don't care, Paul, whoever, it's all complete blasphemy. They're speaking blasphemy, and y'all believe in blasphemy. Y'all ready to fight us because we're trying to correct your vision. We're trying to give you some glasses. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Maybe you need to put on my glasses. Let's get your eyes checked. What kind of sight you need? How much you believe already? Okay, we need to go through and see how far in as far as you are, so we can see what type of correction we need to help you with, right? It's like, and people, it's like, nope, I want to stay asleep. Leave me in the matrix. Leave me in the matrix. Nope. You said what? Let me go on and eat this. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to remember we had this conversation. Let me eat this steak. Let me just enjoy this for this last second. Then put me back in the matrix. I don't even want to know who you are. I don't want to remember none of this. Put me back in the matrix, right? They don't want to hear the truth. They plug their ears. And what you would say? Because you have rejected the truth that would have set you free, I'm going to reject you. But not only you, I'm going to reject your children too. Because why is he going to reject your children? I thought that the parents die for their sins and the children die for their sins. Why you say you're going to reject the children too? Oh, because they ignorant parents teaching them the same ignorant stuff. And if they don't turn from the sins of their parents, they're going to get treated just like their parents got treated, right? So that's why children are punished for the sins of their parents, because they didn't put their parents' sins away. They made their parents' sins their own. And now you have to die for your own wickedness, right? It's not because your parents' wickedness anymore, because you have a choice to put away your parents' sins, but you chose not to. You chose to take them out. So now you are dying for your parents' sins, right? Which are not only just your parents' sins, you have made them your own. So technically, you're dying for your own sins, right? Okay. But we're the heretics. We're speaking heresy, right? And we're trying to open your eyes to what is right in front of your face. And if it was a snake, it would have bit you. Some of you'd be dead by now from multiple snake bites. I need to break a Caduceus. When I need to just wear a Caduceus. Like the Pope holding up his fingers. I need to walk around with a Caduceus. Look, people. But people ready to fight you and write you off, unfriend you, talk about you in code and everything. Because you know they talking about you. I'm like, here they go. And I just unfollow people so I don't see the foolishness. It's real out here in the field, y'all. No, I'm gonna stop. But I'm serious about that. Okay, look. He could have left this whole crap out. That's how I got on this. He said another name for a celebration of his son's resurrection. All this is dumb, it's stupid. It didn't even happen, right? I know people like they cut me off, and I know when somebody don't watch this that ain't quite heard me say that yet, because my numbers will start going, my subscribers will start going down by about 5. I'm like, yep, I'd appear somebody else saw. Yep, I knew what it was today. Like on certain days when I get unsubscribes, I knew why they unsubscribe. I'm like, well, hey, go ahead and make room for more people that's looking for truth. All right, let me finish this, y'all. Okay. YAHUAH would not change his Sabbath to the pagan Sunday or reinvent by deception the pagan festival for the rebirth or the sun and call it his son's birthday. He would not promote Halloween. All Hallows Eve, All Hallows Evening, the night before All Saints Day, is a reinvented Druid feast of the dead. YAHUAH would not, hold on. Okay, let me read this. Okay, YAHUAH would not. See, this is another play on words. I really don't think he know what he's doing. It says YAHUAH would not continue to sacrifice his beloved son over and over in a ghastly mass ritual, but Hasatan would. YAHUAH would not have us praying to anyone but himself. See right here, see this dumb stuff right here, right? Has in his son's name, because clearly we know if we read Torah, he didn't say pray to me in my son's name. First of all, who is his son? Israel. Don't pray to me, Father. I ask you all this in the name of Israel. Like if we was gonna do that and we was gonna do it like that, like pray to YAHUAH in YAHUAH's son's name, Father, all these blessings we pray in the name of Israel. That's what it should be. Like, Father, we ask you all these blessings in the name of Jacob. Like that's what it should be. Like if you was gonna stick to that foolishness, but YAHUAH didn't say do that. He said everything you do it in my name. Pray directly to me. You don't need to add nothing else to my name. He is good and powerful all by himself. Leisha said it'd be irritating the crap out of me. And it's just like, look, once you hear the truth, it's like hearing people say this stuff that you grew up in that you clearly didn't come out of. It's like nails going down a chalkboard. It's like, oh my gosh. And I have a little more patience with some people than some people do. Like my sister's like, you know what? I'm unfriending everybody. You go ahead. I can't deal with their foolishness no more. I'm like, I have a little bit of patience with people. She's like, well, it's a good thing YAHUAH made you the teacher, not me, right? I get it. It do. It sounds like nails going down the chalkboard to me too, but it's like, I understand. I used to be there. I may not be used to be as bad as they are, because some people, they just won't let it go, right? Like, and I don't waste my breath anymore, right? If you're going to listen, you're going to listen. Like, if you got a question, you know where to find me, right? But I ain't going to go back and forth with you about your foolishness and arguing with you about JC or Yahusha, Yeshua, whatever you want to label this person that you add into YAHUAH. When he said, don't add nobody to me. There was nobody with me in the beginning. There will be nobody with me in the end. He said, if there is another Savior, I know not one. Who is he? What is his name? There's nobody. Everybody submits to me. Can't nobody add anything to me or take anything away from me, right? And that's why we don't do it to his name. His name alone is all powerful. We don't need to do our prayers. We praying to the most holy, the most powerful, but we need to boost it up in the name of JC? Absolutely not. Y'all forbid. What kind of foolishness is this, right? But we sound like heretics to the Christian ears and the Hebrew roots movement ears. Wait. So, and what they can't get over is the whole blood sacrifice. You have been dumbed down so much. And apparently you still haven't been reading the words of Yah. Because if after about a year of me just reading through the words of YAHUAH alone, if I got that, why haven't you got that? Why is it so hard for you to understand that, right? And I was thoroughly steeped in church doctrine. Like all I did, I grew up in the church. Even when we moved to another state, when I got out on my own, I reconnected myself back with the church, and I was there, and I served in the church and worked in the media ministry. Like all of this, that was me, right? Going out witnessing with people. Like if it me, somebody who was thoroughly steeped in Satan's religion, in the church house, right? If it took me a year of just only reading the words of Yah for me to realize what the heck is going on here, why is it so hard for you to realize that Yahuwah doesn't need nobody else to hype him up? We don't need to add nothing to his name. His name is good and powerful all by itself. Like, I'm not frightened or I feel some type of way if I don't add in Jesus' name to my prayers. I said, Father, Yah, this is what we need. And I'll go about my day and I'll see it happen. Because I know he is most powerful, most holy all by himself. Like, he needs nobody else. He don't need nothing that we did or nothing we could ever do or fathom to do. We are corruptible. He is incorruptible forever and for always, right? Outside of time and inside of time, he is always incorruptible, right? There is nothing that we can do to add on to whatever he gonna do, right? Okay, let me finish this. I had one more sentence to read. Hold on, let me go back up. Yahuwah would not have us praying to anyone but himself. But Satan guides the Church of Rome to pray to Miriam and many other so-called dead saints for blessings, protection, guidance, and intercession. Yahuwah didn't teach us to change bread into his presence on an indoor altar. He told us to obey his commandments. And that is our reading for today. And I'll show you this last picture. This one is a picture of the Egyptian sun worship. And the next picture is what we see in the church and let you know that you still worshiping Nimrod, my G. Like, this is the Egyptian sun worship. And this is a monstrance, is what it says under here. This is what you see in church, right? Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. All right, y'all. So with that being said, we're going to pause right here for the day. Put my marker right here. It's at 1:28. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the reading today. We read from the Apocrypha. We read 3rd Ezra, chapter 5, 6, and 7. Then we read Fossilized Customs, page 125 to 128. It is Thursday, people, June the 3rd, 2021, day 170 of year 3 of reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets and of the 3-year consecutive day count, day 839. And that is without the Sabbath days or the feast day Sabbath days added into the count. Why? Because we rest. Because Yahuwah has commanded 6 days for work and 1 day to rest. Rest in body, sleep in, right? Okay, so let's do the blessing real quick. It is found in Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. Remember, the first 21 verses of Numbers chapter 6 is the Nazirite vow. A man or a woman can take the vow, as Yahuwah has said. And I think everybody should consider at least once in their life to set themselves apart to Yahuwah for whatever specific purpose that you choose. Right here, say you. This one you got. You can choose however long. Just set yourself apart if you choose to. I ain't making it a requirement, but this is something you can choose to do, man or woman, old or young. You can choose to do this. But when you take this, here's how I want you to set yourself apart for me, right? Read more detail about that in the first 21 verses of Numbers chapter 6. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us peace. And here, what do Yahuwah say? And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. So that's it for today. I don't think there's any questions. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. All right, I'll see y'all back here tomorrow, bright and early, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace. Bye, y'all.